Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by a decision, caught in an endless loop of analysis, dissecting every possible outcome until the opportunity itself withers and dies? You are brilliant, capable, insightful. You see angles others miss, anticipate problems before they arise. And yet, this very gift, this powerful intellect, often becomes your greatest saboteur. It's a cruel irony, isn't it? The sharper your mind, the heavier the chains of overthinking seem to become, dragging you down just as you're about to take flight. This isn't about a lack of courage or laziness. It's a deep-seated psychological trap, and it ensnares some of the most intelligent individuals among us. You see the chessboard of life with too many moves, too many variables, and suddenly, the simple act of advancing a pawn feels like a monumental, insurmountable risk. Consider the story of Alex. Alex was a gifted programmer, the kind of person who could see complex systems in his mind, debug intricate code, with an almost supernatural intuition. He had an idea, a truly revolutionary concept for a new app that would simplify a common daily task for millions. He spent months, then a year, meticulously planning, designing flowcharts, writing pseudocode, perfecting every potential user journey. He foresaw every bug, every edge case, every possible user complaint. His friends and colleagues were impressed by his thoroughness, his vision. But while Alex was refining his perfect blueprint, too less brilliant, but far more action-oriented, developers launched a similar, albeit clunkier, app. It wasn't as elegant, it had bugs, and the user experience wasn't flawless. But it existed. And because it existed, it gained traction, gathered feedback, and iterated its way to success while Alex was still polishing the theoretical perfection of his unreleased masterpiece. Alex's brilliance became his prison, and his quest for flawlessness became the very reason for his failure to launch. This phenomenon is rooted in several psychological factors. The first is what psychologists call analysis paralysis. Your intelligent mind is excellent at identifying risks, complexities, and potential pitfalls. This is a survival mechanism refined over millennia. But in the modern world, especially in creative or entrepreneurial endeavors, this mechanism can become hyperactive. Instead of seeing a path, your brain sees 1,000 branching paths, each leading to a potential disaster. The sheer volume of information and possibilities overwhelms the decision-making centers of the brain. You become so focused on optimizing for the best possible outcome that you forget that a good outcome, delivered quickly, is often far superior to a perfect outcome that never materializes. You are waiting for certainty in a world that thrives on calculated risk and iteration. Another major factor is the fear of failure, amplified by intelligence. Smart people often derive a significant portion of their self-worth from their intellectual capabilities and their track record of success. The thought of launching something imperfect, of making a mistake, of being seen as anything less than brilliant, can be terrifying. This fear isn't just about external judgment, it's an internal pressure. You hold yourself to an impossibly high standard. Every idea must be groundbreaking, every execution flawless. The perceived cost of a misstep is magnified because you believe you should know better, you should foresee everything. This often leads to procrastination, disguised as further research or refinement. You tell yourself you're being diligent when, in reality, you're avoiding the vulnerability of putting an imperfect piece of yourself out into the world. Then there's the curse of knowledge. Because you understand something so deeply, it becomes incredibly difficult to imagine what it's like not to know it. This can lead to overcomplicating things, adding layers of nuance and detail that are fascinating to you but utterly overwhelming to others. When explaining an idea, you might get lost in the intricate details, losing your audience in the process. When building something, you might include too many features, believing each one is essential, without realizing that simplicity is often the ultimate sophistication. Your intellect, instead of being a bridge, can inadvertently become a barrier between your brilliant ideas and their practical implementation or reception. The antidote to this self-sabotage isn't to become less intelligent. It's to develop a new relationship with your intelligence. It's about learning to distinguish between insightful analysis and paralyzing rumination. It begins with embracing the concept of good enough. The world doesn't reward perfect plans, it rewards executed plans. It's about recognizing that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone, a data point in the journey toward success. Every single successful person has a graveyard of failed attempts behind them. The difference is, they didn't let their fear of adding another tombstone stop them from building. They learned, adjusted, and launched again. For people like Alex, the shift comes when they realize that the fastest way to get to a truly perfect product is to release an imperfect one, gather real-world feedback, and iterate quickly. It's about developing an action bias, a preference for doing over endless deliberation. Set artificial deadlines, even if they feel arbitrary. Practice mini launches or minimum viable products, getting something, anything out there, no matter how small or imperfect, to break the cycle of overthinking. Trust your intuition more and your logical brain a little less, especially in the initial stages of creation. Your intelligence is a powerful engine, but it needs a driver who knows when to hit the gas and when to simply let the car run, even if the road ahead isn't perfectly paved. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It will never come. The only perfect moment is the one you create by choosing to act. Are you ready to trade the comfort of perfect theoretical plans for the messy, exhilarating reality of actual progress?